Bucks basketball is back. We're coming to you live inside the Golden One Center here in Sacramento, California. It is the California Classic. As fans stream into the building, you'll get to see some pretty good brand of basketball right here tonight. We got the Miami Heat against the Los Angeles Lakers tipping us off, followed by the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. I'm Kyle Draper, joined by Katie Hunter. And Katie, basketball just ended 2 weeks ago. We crowned a champ, but I am all ready. It is never too soon to have more basketball out on the court.
And after having a break with the COVID pandemic like we did a year ago, it's nice to kind of jump right back into things. And this is important, this summer league, because you have an opportunity this year for young players that didn't get a summer league last year, didn't get that chance to kind of showcase themselves, develop, prove themselves, to have that opportunity again this year. And it really is important for them to have that and to be able to up their game. So it should be some exciting basketball the next 2 days.
Yeah, not only an opportunity for these guys to show out for their fans and their current coaches, but also other coaches around the league. They'll be watching tonight's game. Tonight, we got the Miami Heat against the Los Angeles Lakers. Let me run through the starting lineups right quick for the Miami Heat. Javonte Smart, Drew Smith, Justin Smith, DJ Stewart Jr., and Omar Yurtseven. And for the Los Angeles Lakers, Joel Ayayi from Gonzaga, Sean D. Brown, Devontae Caycock, Austin Reeves, and Justin Robinson. Our officials tonight, Brandon Adair, Simone Jelks, and Andy Nagy. Katie, you mentioned it earlier. We didn't have a summer league last year. We didn't have a California Classic. And so I think for a lot of these players, it's an opportunity not only to show out, but also to get some growth here, to work with the coaches, something they didn't do last season.
Well, and if you look at these two teams right here in the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers, neither one of them had a draft pick this year. So these are a lot of players that have played in the G-League, had a little bit of an opportunity, or have gone undrafted. So this is so important for them to be able to get that opportunity to step out there on the floor and kind of prove their worth as they're trying to inch their way into this league. So, you know, Summer League has always been a great opportunity for the young players. Missing it last year, I think, impacted the league and kind of the growth for teams to be able to plan for their future. So we'll see how this one kicks off here today.
And we have two teams who did not make any selections in the NBA draft. So a lot of these guys, undrafted players, a lot of these guys, two-way players, a lot of these guys looking for their opportunity. The nightcap later tonight will be the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. And for Sacramento, we'll get to see the #9 overall pick, Davion Mitchell. That's coming up in just a little bit. But first, it is the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers. And when you look at these two franchises, they have been super active so far this offseason. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Katie, two teams, two franchises who, if you ask them, they underachieved this past postseason.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with injuries. If you point directly at the Lakers and what they did, their early exit, not pleased with it, of course. They have high expectations every season, especially with LeBron James kind of running that show there. And then Miami, I mean, this is a team that a year ago in the bubble performed so well. I think they wanted to be able to have that opportunity to repeat that, underperformed. But they made some big moves, as you mentioned, and so I think they're both priming themselves for this upcoming season. But for now, it's the young guys as they try and figure out a way. Are they going to fit on one of these rosters, whether it's the Heat or the Lakers, or is it trying to get on somebody else's training camp roster at this point?
All right, we are about to tip it off. The California Classic, third annual California Classic, before these teams move to Las Vegas for the NBA Summer League, which is set to begin on Sunday. Jumping it up, Devontae Caycock for the Lakers, Omar Yurtseven for the Miami Heat, and the Heat control the ball early on.
Well, you know the Heat are obviously a team that likes to play some defense, so let's see what they're able to do on the offensive end right here today as we get this going.
Shot clock down to 10 for Miami. On the penetration, Javonte Smart, layup too strong, rebound, Yurtseven, the first bucket of the California Classic.
Really nice follow, and what I love and encourage young players to always do is there's so many ways that you can impact a game and kind of prove your worth in the league and kind of inch your way in, and rebounding, as we know, is one of them.
Back come the Lakers. Very busy offseason for Los Angeles, the trade for Russell Westbrook. As Caycock goes in, gets it rejected, back comes Miami. Chance for a lot of these young players to show out. Like I mentioned earlier, not necessarily for these teams as we have an offensive foul going the other way, but for the coaches of the other teams as well. I got a question, Katie, because as a player, you want to run the system, but you also want to show out, get into your bag as well. How do you guard against that?
You know, the interesting thing about it is if you look at these teams, they haven't been together for very long. They might have 3 or 4 practices total coming into this, and so you don't have a lot of experience with each other, so they keep the things kind of simple, but system, but also make sure you're making the proper reads. And I think that really there, Kyle, is the trick. That's the answer to your question. It's showing your basketball IQ to make those reads, make the right plays.
Yurtseven already on the board with the 2, makes it a 3. Bang, Yurtseven making an early 5-0 Miami lead.
Nothing like a 7-footer hitting threes, right?
The NBA in 2021, you got to be a 5-tool player, do a little bit of everything. Miami up by 5, Yurtseven, why not? Got it!
If you're gonna leave it open twice in a row, you know what I say, pull the trigger.
Yurtseven 8, the Lakers 0. Early in this one, off the turnover, back comes Miami. Foul line jumper. Miami with an early 10-0 lead. That last bucket by Stewart Jr. Reeves, the bucket and the foul. He'll get to the line to complete the 3-point play.
You know, when you're struggling to get your team going offensively, the best thing to do is really have the opportunity to get inside like this, get into the paint, make them make a read, and sometimes just earn yourself a trip to the free throw, everyone down, get you on the scoreboard, and you can go from there.
Austin Reeves just signed a 2-way contract with the Lakers. First team all Big 12 selection at Oklahoma, a 23-year-old rookie. Can't get the free throw to go, so it remains 10-2 Miami. Yurtseven already with 8 points early in this one. Ayayi with the defense. Shot clock down to 5, 4, 3 ball, good. Miami dialing it up from distance. That's 3 threes so far for the Miami Heat.
And they're doing a really good job of just making the right read, going through their options on offense and taking what that defense is giving them. And you got to think at some point that the Lakers are going to try to take away that outside shot, those outside looks, and see if they can get them, force them into the lane where they have some help.
When you talk about the Miami Heat, you talk about a team that utilizes the 3 ball. How much of a
Do they have that right now? Are they working on it? Are they adding it? Because think about where it's going to be for bigs in 5 years in the NBA, Kyle. Like how this game is continued to develop and evolve. And, you know, you talk about positionless basketball. Yeah. You can't help but scratch your head and be like, my goodness, where is it going to be in 5, 10 years?
Yeah, you talk to coaches around the league. They want players that can not only play multiple positions offensively, but guard multiple positions defensively as well. Little foul line jumper, rims out, but there's that man again, Sean D. Brown.
3 Miami Heat players around him, and what does he do? I'm going to crab dribble this, and I'm going to muscle it up and get myself to the free throw line. He's not afraid of contact at all. He's like, all right, bring the 4th one in. I'm still going to get to the line. You're not going to break me.
Sean D. Brown, he'll get to the line for 2. That will be his 5th and 6th free throw attempts here in the first half. 22-year-old out of Michigan. Now just 2 of 5 from the charity stripe as the Lakers make some wholesale substitutions. Summer League coach Quentin Crawford on the sidelines, getting his opportunity. Lakers assistant coach, played 2 years with the Arizona Wildcats. Only 30 years old, so he's getting his opportunity as well.
And you know, we talk, and we have talked a lot about players being able to get this opportunity in summer and to kind of showcase themselves and work their way into the league. The same goes for coaches, Kyle. I mean, it gives coaches an opportunity. Think a few years back, I mean, it's probably more than that now with Becky Hammon and coaching in the summer league team in Vegas for the Spurs. And it's a great opportunity for head coaches and teams to really develop their assistant coaches and their developmental staff as well.
That 3 ball right there makes it a 38-38 game. Under 6 to go here in the second. Devontae Cacok makes it a 2-point Los Angeles lead. You talked about the Lakers and some of the moves they made. I wonder how Lakers Nation feels about the changes. I got to imagine Russell Westbrook gets them excited. We'll talk about that coming up after the timeout. They got to be happy. They're Lakers with the 2-point lead here at the California Classic. The Lakers holding a 2-point lead over the Miami Heat, 40-38 here in the second period. The Lakers getting it done defensively, coming up with a number of loose balls, transition buckets.
You know, and they did a really good job, you know, for those that are just joining the broadcast. Miami jumped out to an 11-point lead early in the first quarter, and they had a lot of things going offensively, stepping back. You got bigs hitting threes, but the Lakers just started to chip away at it, and what they did is they got aggressive going to the rim and challenging that Heat defense, and that's what's been the difference in this game. Yeah,
8 Miami turnovers leading to 13 Los Angeles points. You mentioned that defense. It'll be 9 on the shot clock now for Los Angeles. I was talking about Russell Westbrook as he goes back home to LA. And the Lakers now have a legit 3-headed monster. When you look at it, Westbrook as your 3rd option, and he's Mr. Triple-Double.
Yeah.
I think for them, though, health. AD and LeBron.
I think that obviously is the ticket right there. I mean, LeBron has felt invincible for so long, and last year really the first time where injuries really started to creep in and become a major factor. And then AD, you know, that's kind of been something that's plagued him off and on throughout his career. And so, you know, you add Westbrook to that picture, and I'm curious how Westbrook's game changes alongside those two, because he has had to be the guy so much throughout his career. How are we going to see this morph with those 3?
All right, Devontae Cacok, he'll head to the line for 2. The NBA app brings the game to you. Follow your favorite teams, keep up with the latest news, and watch live and on-demand games. Download the NBA app today. #That'sGame. Well, I was listening to NBA radio on Sirius XM earlier today, and one of the things they discussed is in previous years when LeBron goes to the bench, there's a precipitous drop-off. Now you get a guy like Westbrook. Now you get Carmelo, and I know he's up there in age, but he shot better than 40% from three-point range this past season. You get a guy like Kendrick Nunn. And so I think they're just looking for firepower so that when LeBron's not on there, they can still be productive.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're trying to get in a lot of ways. Shot clock violation there by Miami. Good defense by the Lakers. But my question is, what is the three-point shooting going to be like for the Lakers? Because, yeah, Carmelo was great, but he was in Portland. You see a nice little replay here. That pressure that they're putting on defensively, the Lakers kind of getting up, putting that pressure, that's what got them back into this game and allowed them to be able to take this lead. But the question is, are they going to be able to hold on to it? Because they've got to get something going a little bit more regularly right here on this end.
That's 9 turnovers now for Miami as Ayayi front rims a 3. The lefty jumper is too short. That was Trace Tinkle. Oh, the big fella running the floor. Micah Potter.
When they run, you gotta reward them. Absolutely. Get your heads up, guards. Look down the floor. If you got a big down there, give it a whirl. Throw it to him.
Kaycock left wide open. Can't get that 3 to go. The Lakers now 4 of 12 from three-point range. Oh, nice defense. Watch this. Hold on. Oh, Max McClung decided to lay it up with the lefty.
Hey, he's smart. He looked over that shoulder. He saw 2 guys coming. Yurtseven being one of them, a 7-footer. He's like, I'm going to make the right play right here. And this was the play, just to be able to, again, I feel like I'm on repeat here. It's that defense creating offense. You're able to get out in the open floor. You see a big man coming. All right, I'm going to slip up underneath here, finish on this side, protect the ball.
All right, we got a timeout here at Golden One Center. The Lakers holding a 4-point lead. We'll be back after the timeout. In One Center, the Lakers holding a 44-40 lead over the Miami Heat. The Lakers getting a balanced offensive attack. Sean D. Brown leading the way with 7 points. Meanwhile, for the Miami Heat, Yurtseven already nearing a double-double, 14 points, and they just changed it to 9 rebounds. There he is with the ball, triple team. Leads to another turnover. That's 11 now for Miami.
You know, but Yurtseven had 3 fouls in the first quarter, and he's been back in this second quarter for quite some time, and I'm surprised that the Lakers haven't tried to isolate and attack him and challenge him, trying to get him to pick up that 4th foul.
There it is in the paint. On the reverse. Trace Tinkle, he'll get to the line for 2. The Lakers living at the free throw line. This will be 16 and 17 in the first half. Meanwhile, Miami just 0 for 2.
That's been the biggest difference. And, you know, we talked about it earlier in the game that Miami was able to kind of get out to that big lead, double-digit lead early because they were hitting threes, they were hitting jumpers, getting in the lane, and the Lakers couldn't get anything going. But it all changed when they went to the free throw line, and that's when they were able to kind of take a breath, slow it down, start getting into action, and really put pressure on that defense and just get to the free throw line. They've been living there.
Tinkle makes it a 5-point game. Knocked down 1 of 2, 45-40. Here's Yurtseven taking the body. Good help defense. Back come the Lakers. Austin Reeves decides to pull it back out. Kaycock thought about it, puts it on the deck. A little runner.
A runner and a prayer, we call that.
At the end of the night, it counts as 2, right?
It does.
Lakers now up by 7. Reeves thought he had all ball on that one.
Keep an eye on Reeves when you see him coming down as a big and digging down and getting his hands on things from behind. On the play previous, yes, that was a foul. He got a little bit too much. He got some arm there, but the play previous, he stripped the ball from Yurtseven when he was doing a little move along the baseline, caught him off guard. He does a good job of being active on the defensive end and really digging down, helping those bigs.
That's the 6th foul for the Lakers this game. third team foul of the quarter. As Tinkle heads to the bench. Tinkle 5 points, 4 rebounds. Heat make it a 5-point game, 47-42, 2:25 left to go here in the second. Kyle Draper, Katie Hunter bringing you the California Classic later tonight. After this one, the Golden State Warriors against the Sacramento Kings. Our first look at Davion Mitchell, the number 9 overall pick, as Yurtseven is in double-double territory, 14 points and 10 rebounds for the 7-footer. Already hit a couple of threes, back irons that one.
He's got a nice touch, though. He's got a nice touch. It's a natural shot for him.
K-Cop. Lakers struggling from distance, just 4 of 13. Nice defense by Reeves. Garrett with the loose ball and the easy layup. Marcus Garrett, the Kansas product, 4-year player at Kansas. Defensive Player of the Year in 2020. Makes it a 3-point game. The Heat come up with the defense and the layup. Drew Smith makes it a 1-point game, 47-46. And how about the pressure? As the Lakers and Quentin Crawford takes a timeout. It's a 1-point game, 47-46. Give me that. The layup is good. (47-46). Omer Yurtseven leading away with 14 points and 10 rebounds. He does have 4 fouls. As the Lakers called that timeout. 1:11 left to go here in the second quarter. Good to see fans back in Golden One Center, the California Classic. We didn't have it last season, Katie, because of COVID, no summer league. Think about it, this time last year, the bubble had just sort of ramped up in Orlando. We've already completed the season and crowned another champion.
You know, it's crazy. I want to say what a difference a year makes. Right. But at the same time, it's like just because we've figured out how to kind of survive and manage in the athletic world amidst the pandemic, it's clearly not anywhere, you know, close to over at this point. We'll cross our fingers and see what it looks like come October when the regular season starts. But yeah, this has kind of been an off season on steroids to a certain degree. Right. It's like drafts, summer league, free agency, like it's all simultaneously happening at one time, and your head's spinning.
You're right about that. 2 weeks ago, the Milwaukee Bucks, led by Giannis, won the NBA championship. We already had the draft, free agency, summer league begins. The NBA getting back to a normal schedule as Yurtseven, yeah, he's whistled for steps. That'll be 12 turnovers for Miami.
Yeah, he's played a pretty flawless game if you think about it, other than having some foul trouble. But offensively, he's shown a lot of different weapons. But I wonder if having a double-double, you know, 14 points in 15 minutes, if maybe the Lakers are starting to key in and say, hey, we got to send some more people his way. Yeah,
the Lakers making the adjustment. Brown backs it out. Austin Reeves, 5 on the clock. Yurtseven on the switch out. Reeves goes right by him. Gets his own rebound, nearly throws it away. Joel Ayayi tipped out of bounds. It'll be Lakers ball. Last touch by Javonte Smart.
I really like Reeves' game. My one thing is, and this is what we're going to see through Summer League, is young players at the speed that they're going. It's 100 miles an hour all the time, and he's a high energy player, has a lot of skill. You see right there, and pulling up for the 3. But there's also this component as you're getting into the NBA, Kyle, where you have to learn how to kind of slow things down a little bit. But good job right there using the screen, kind of baiting the defensive player into that touch foul right there. But yeah, it's, you know, slowing down your game a little bit. You don't have to go 100 miles an hour all the time. That's going to serve him well as he develops.
Played the last couple of years at Oklahoma. Was an all Big 12 selection, averaging better than 18 points per game. Was knocked out of the NCAA tournament by his Summer League teammate Joel Ayayi. the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Does he look 6'5" to you?
That's with shoes on.
That's with shoes. That's with shoes and inserts and 3 pairs of socks and ankle tape. He plays like he's 6'5", though. I'll give him that. He plays hard. Yeah.
He has a smooth game.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Very skilled in a lot of ways.
All right, under 10 to go here in the second. Marcus Garrett being pressured by Brown. Shot clock, game clock at the buzzer, no good. And at the end of the first half, the Lakers with a 49-46 lead. They trailed at one point by 11, but turned up the defense, forcing 12 Miami turnovers, 20 points off those turnovers. The Heat, however, outscored the Lakers in the second, 19-17. Stick around, we got the halftime show coming up after the timeout. Classic at Golden One Center in Sacramento coming up after this game later tonight. The Warriors taking on the Sacramento Kings. Right now, Miami coming out with a little pressure. Trailing by 3.
Well, it's important to see how the Lakers come out offensively to start the second half. Obviously, Miami jumped out to a double-digit lead very early to start this game, but it was the Lakers that were able to chip back into it and get that lead at halftime. We'll see what adjustments both teams have been able to make and what they come out with to start this half.
Good defensive possession from Miami on the under end of the floor. It'll be 8 seconds on the shot clock. Miami basketball. The Heat shooting close to 56% from the field, but 12 turnovers have led to 20 Los Angeles points. Yurtsevin, shot clock down to 4, has to give it up. That's a deep 3, bang! Drew Smith. Drew Smith tying it up at 49 with a big-time 3 at the buzzer. Back come the Lakers. Step back, Sean D. Brown, too strong. Here comes Miami. Lakers shooting just 40.5% from the field. 4 of 13 from 3. Yurtsevin catching the hoop and lays it in.
Nice action with your big man. Nice to see a guard be able to really play that two-man game. Look for your big, deliver it right at the rim, right where you need it in the sweet spot.
16 points, 13 rebounds for the 7-footer Yurtsevin. On the penetration, good hands. It'll be out of bounds, going the other way. What do you see from Yurtsevin right here?
Really nice two-man game. I mean, he set the pick. He was a little bit low. He's at the free throw line, so we saw he had to go quickly, go straight to the rim. Nice job by Smart to be able to get it right in the spot, you know, right in front of the rim where he can grab it, but it's still protected. It's a nice little two-man game between those two.
Haycock front rims a 3. Instead, Justin Robinson says, bang, bang, bang. He knocks down the triple, and the Lakers back on top by 1. That's Robinson's first field goal, 6 points. As Reeves corrals the rebound, back come the Lakers. Robinson, hesitation. Ayayi, 3. Yurtsevin, another rebound, number 14.
He really has been spectacular, just all over the floor, doing a lot of different things, quality things at both ends. Nice job taking that to the basket there for the Heat.
They had Drew Smith, a little show and go move, show and tell, looking to complete the 3-point play.
Well, and the great thing about kind of Miami's guards is you've seen them not only put pressure up, you've seen Smith do it, pressure full court, but they do a good job at the other end of taking contact and going in, creating it. They haven't gotten to the free throw line enough in this game, just 4 free throws up to this point, so it's good to see them come out being aggressive, going to the basket, not just defensively full court.
Smart front rims a 3. Ayayi comes down with the rebound. Miami holding a 53-52 lead here in the third quarter. The Miami Heat, they've been busy this offseason as well. A number of free agent signings. Kyle Lowry, most notable in a sign and trade. He signs a 3-year, $90 million deal. Also get PJ Tucker, re-signed Duncan Robinson, Markieff Morris as Ayayi lays it in. What do you think about Miami and the moves they made, getting a veteran like Kyle Lowry?
I've been really impressed. I love that Kyle Lowry fit for them. The interesting thing is, how is he going to transform with them? Everyone knows that they've got quite an extreme kind of standard for your physicality, if you will. There's weigh-ins, there's kind of diet plans, those things. I'm wondering if that's really going to help propel Kyle Lowry there with the Heat, but also Duncan Robinson. You mentioned him. You know, last season when he faced the Kings, he absolutely killed them. He is a shooter, and I love his story and being the highest paid contract for an undrafted player ever, and this applies here to the California Classic and Summer League. I mean, these are guys just like that, undrafted, trying to work their way in, find a spot with a team, and that just shows you, find one specialty. Find one specialty, and you're able to find a fit on a team, and you can develop your game from there.
Duncan Robinson, a 5-year, $90 million deal with the Miami Heat. But he's a weapon out on the floor, Katie.
I mean, really is.
You have to hug up on him, pay attention to him. And like you mentioned, we saw him against Sacramento. He torched the Kings.
Defensively, the Kings struggled a little bit defending all season, but you know, Duncan played well against everyone, so that's
All right, here we go. Nice little backdoor layup is good. The Lakers and Heat involved in a close one here at the California Classic. Leading the Miami Heat 58-53. Kaycock leading the way with 10 points for the Lakers. For the Miami Heat, Yurtsevin 16 points, 15 rebounds for the Georgetown product. 7-footer making an imprint on this game. See what head coach Malik Allen draws up out of the timeout. Another turnover for Miami. That's 14, and running the floor is the big fella, Kaycock, throwing it down.
And that really has been the story of the game for the Lakers. This is how they've been able to kind of jump out and take control of this game, is by their defense, getting out into the open floor. You look across statistically at what they're doing offensively, nothing jumps off the board. They're just getting more opportunities.
Nice strong move right there. TJ Stewart Jr. Ayayi left wide open. Short on that 3 ball. Back comes Miami, down by 5. Into the paint, the kick, the 3, got it. Miami using the 3 ball, that's their 6th 3. They started off on fire from 3 early on, hitting their first 3. As Smart knocks down that one, it'll be out of bounds, Los Angeles basketball.
And he's showing a little bit different things in his tool bag. You've seen Smart get to the basket. That's his 2nd triple that he's hit. So you're showing that he's kind of displaying a little bit of an all-around game, get his feet set. Doesn't have the most natural release, Kyle, but if you, but I mean, that's okay. I mean, that's something that you can work on, that you can develop. But if you can knock it down with your feet set, that's a really good start, and it makes you a weapon as you can spot up out there, especially when plays break down.
You know, here's the thing about Javonte Smart. Played at LSU for 3 seasons, led the SEC in 3-point percentage at better than 40% from 3. Unorthodox. What do you think about shot mechanics? And if a guy can shoot it, do you mess with it?
You know, I think that that's always a scary thing to do. I think of, do you remember Sean Marion's release? Even if you go to right now, currently on the Kings, just last year, Tyrese Halliburton coming in, that was a knock against him, was kind of his unconventional release. But he ended up being one of the best 3-point shooters on the Kings team, as well as in the rookie class. And it's like, I definitely don't think you mess with it in season. I think that that's something for the offseason, and since this was such a condensed offseason, you don't touch those things. That's something you work on over time. And sometimes, if you're like a Sean Marion and you're that deadly, no, don't change it. Roll with it.
Yurtseven continuing his hot play. He's at 18 points, 15 rebounds. Nice little spin move. It'll be Miami basketball tied up at 60. Heat looking to go back on top. Smart. Nice find underneath.
What a great job by Yurtseven to be able to run, sneak behind that play, make sure that his point guard sees him, gets the ball to him. He's really been impressive today.
A 9-0 run for the Miami Heat. Nice backdoor. Reeves with the layup. I like the flow, the pace we got going now on both ends of the floor. Here's Smart, step back, 3-ball.
See, for me, that's a little bit different. You can get that type of shot at any point during the shot clock, a step back between the legs, 3. That's hard for a lot of people at this level. So, you know, that's kind of a desperation shot for me. If you need it, that's in a desperate moment. But move the ball, get some action.
James Harden does it?
James Harden is James Harden. I feel like I need to make that distinction.
Right. KD, Durant
very
does it?
clear, you know. And even sometimes with stars in the league, it drives me nuts to a certain degree. You know, it's the basketball purist in me, yeah.
Yes, exactly. All right, check out Smart. The bullet pass to Yurtseven for the righty layup. We're at the tie. No, Heat lead 63-62. A couple of guys showing out tonight. K-Cop for the Lakers, and how about Yurtseven for the Miami Heat? 18 points, Katie, 15 rebounds, a couple of assists. Unstoppable for the 7-footer.
Yeah, he really truly has been impressive, and right from the jump for Miami. And there's been several players for the Lakers that have done impressive things, but no one has kind of made the difference for their team like Yurtseven has done for the Heat.
Yurtseven getting a rest, has 5 personal fouls. Shot clock up to 7. Out of bounds, turnover Los Angeles.
Considering the fact that Yurtseven had 3 fouls before the first quarter was over, to be able to play significant time during the second and third quarters and only pick up 2, I mean that's a good thing. But you definitely want to get that in check as you continue through summer league. You have to show that you cannot be a foul-prone big to really have value.
Oh, nice defense there from Los Angeles. Childs with the rejection. Numbers the other way. Queen turns it over. Here comes Garrett. One-on-one move. McClung will be whistled for the foul. Garrett goes down hard. He'll get to the line for 2.
You really have to give credit to McClung and the other Lakers guards for how they get back. Queen right there, you see trailing the play. To be able to get out in front and challenge that shot, both of them be there, that's what you want to be able to do. You want to show the motor. You want to show that you're not giving up on plays, and especially taking the defensive ones as seriously as the offensive.
Marcus Garrett will shoot 2. Miami just 2 of 5 from the free throw line, now 2 of 6. The Lakers 11 of 20. As we got a substitution for Miami. Into the game, Drew Smith, undrafted rookie out of Missouri.
You know, I think that's something for young players that are watching elite level basketball and trying to kind of, that's their dream, they want to get there. Take free throw shooting as seriously as you do any other part of your game. That is so valuable, and there's been too much of a drop off in my opinion.
Yeah, neither team knocking down their freebies tonight. Look at this hard push. Corner 3. Rebound Lakers going the other way. Simpson with the hard push. Then gives it away. Got in traffic. McClung hoping for a tie-up. Instead, he'll be whistled for the foul.
Great job. Again, another play by McClung to be able to get out in front of a transition opportunity for the Heat and make a difference on the defensive side. Yes, good job trying to challenge that, but absolutely a foul. That was the correct call by the official.
Have you ever tried to officiate basketball, Katie? I know you had a lengthy career. Have you ever tried
Listen, I didn't have the best relationship with officials while I was playing. I was kind of a defensive oriented player and played very physically, if you will. And so just from that experience, I'm like, I know better than to be an official. It's the hardest job there is. You're never going to be able to make anyone happy all the time.
A thankless job, no doubt. But you get to watch the best in the world every single night in the NBA go at it. As the Miami Heat with the 2-point lead under a minute to go here in the third, but another turnover for Miami. That's 16.
You know, I think a lot of the turnovers you see actually from both teams is just the speed that they're playing at, Kyle. And we talked about it a little bit earlier. You're going to see this throughout Summer League, but for young players, when you're in this situation, what's so important is to be able to show that you can change speed, that you can slow down, calm down a little bit, recognize pace of play.
Got a loose ball over in the corner in front of the Lakers bench. They're calling a jump ball. Coach Quentin Crawford said, nah, that should go the other way. See who they have jumping here.
You have to give credit to both these teams, though. They're fighting hard, both ends. They're physical, they're getting after it. And that's what you have to love about Summer League is everyone is fighting for the same thing. This isn't an unimportant game where you've got 80. This is one of 82, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 30 on the game clock. Back come the Lakers. Here's Queen. Nice little shovel pass. Too hot for Childs. So the shot clock is off. 23.8 on the game clock. Miami will take their time bringing it up past half court. Tied at 64. The Heat shooting 53% from the field. The Lakers just 41.4. Here comes the screen. Swallows that one up. 2 on the clock. Simpson full court. And at the end of 3, we are tied at 64. A good one to begin the California Classic between the Lakers and the Heat. Miami ending that quarter on an 11-4 run. We got the final 10 minutes next. Los Angeles backcourt. Carter going right. The kick out. Little high flyer, offensive foul. That foul on that play as we take a look at it, A.J. Lawson. He picks up the foul. And how about the defense from Trace Tinkle?
Great job just stepping in there, keeping yourself set, getting yourself squared to the offensive player coming on. I mean, we've seen a couple times tonight people trying to draw fouls, haven't been able to get to the spot, get the offensive foul drawn. And that is an art in of itself that you develop over time.
Yeah, Trace Tinkle, the coach's son, played for his dad at Oregon State. His dad, Wayne. Trace, the all-time leading scorer in Oregon State history, even ahead of a guy like Gary Payton, Hall of Famer. Oh, get that shot out of here, says Potter. Second chance opportunity for the Lakers. Tinkle. Shot clock down to 6. Simpson, dribble drive, running hook, the tip. And another second chance opportunity for the Lakers. We got a foul on Miami. Let's take a look at the defense from the Heat on this possession.
Defensively, to be able to step in there, get your hands on the ball, and then, oh yeah, have a big man come in to help you a little bit too. And sometimes as a guard, if you can kind of get an offensive player to kind of have to re-grasp the ball, get your hands on it, fumble it a little bit, that gives you a little extra time for that big to come over, get there in time, and really be able to defend that rim.
Nice little pocket pass. Oh, he went for it and was met at the rim by Yurtseven. Nice defense at the rim for Miami. And then Yurtseven gives it away. Simpson. We got a personal foul. Simpson will get to the line for 2. Xavier Simpson, the Michigan product. Simpson, 3 rebounds, couple of assists. This will be his first free throw attempts of the night. The NBA family encourages everyone to take care of their physical and mental health and to know the facts about the COVID-19 vaccines. For more information and to help you and your loved ones find a COVID-19 vaccine near you, go to cdc.gov. Let's do this together. Took a look there at Malik Allen, Miami Heat Summer League coach, former Villanova Wildcat, 10-year career in the NBA.
They've got quite a coaching staff over there on the Miami bench. You see Caron Butler standing up right now, and obviously he had a stint here in Sacramento. Loved covering him. Just one of the all-time greats in terms of not only people but players in the league. Has gone on to do so many great things. But yeah, they've got a feed of Miami players, past Miami players going through that coaching staff, which that's a great place to learn. Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, to be involved in that organization, not a bad idea.
Oh, nice defense there by Kaycock. 13 on the clock for Miami. Heat down by 2, 66-64. Potter, the big fella, putting it on the deck. Gets ripped, but we got a foul on Justin Robinson. That's the Lakers' first team foul here in the 4th period. Potter trying to say he was going up for the shot.
Can't fault him. Hey. Walk to the line like you're meant to be there. Maybe they'll be like, okay, you know what? I think he was in the shooting motion.
Referee Brandon Adair, though, he's right there on it. Says side out of bounds. It'll be Miami basketball. 12 on the clock now. Yurtseven calling for it down low. Nice help from Robinson. Forces another Heat turnover. Robinson bumped. Simone Jelks there with the whistle. It'll be a foul on Drew Smith. One more look at this.
There was a little bit of a little extracurriculars there, and from the theater department more. It wasn't, you know. That's all right. You know what? That's part of the thing. You have to learn to sell things.
Yep.
But there is a fine line because, you know, they've got the flopping thing in the league. We saw some players fall to that, get that fine this last year.
Yes, and the league has a point of emphasis too, Katie, going into this season. They want their officials to take a close look at players flopping or trying to draw fouls with non-basketball moves.
Yeah, the biggest one for me is that three-point kick out with the leg.
Yeah.
That's the one that gets me.
4-on-4 on the push. Robinson, tray ball. Another rebound, number 16. They've been stuck on 64 for a minute. Smart.
The crazy thing is that both these teams have done such a good job offensively at getting into the paint, getting in some inside action, using defense to create offense. The last couple of possessions for both teams, we've seen them taking threes. This is the point in the game. 7 minutes to go. It's a 4-point game. You want to make sure that you're going with what works. Don't start settling for threes or trying to make the big play. Make the smart play.
Yeah, Miami 0 for 4 from the field here in the fourth quarter. 4 turnovers. Like I said, they've been stuck on 64 for a while. Here's Robinson on the hard push into the paint. Shot clock down to 10. Childs throws it away. Carter now working on Childs. Little lefty scoop, too strong. Lakers have numbers if they want it. Queen back to Kaycock. Nice little two-man game, running a break.
That was a really beautiful play by Queen because the way he shielded that with his body, that's what got him that assist. See it right there, you shield it, get the defender on your back, nice open lane. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Defense, Kate.
And they've got 14 steals on the day. You see right here, McClung, one of those guards for the Lakers that's really put a lot of pressure on the ball, leading to some offense on the other end of the floor. Then after that, Queen out in the passing lane, gets it out. This is the dunk you like so much, Kyle. Got you out of your chair. And then Reeves, he's going to get this nice dish right here. 2 points right there for Kaycock. This is what the Lakers have had success with. I want to see them continue to put that pressure on and get out and stop settling for threes late in the game.
Yurtsevin, doing his best Moses Malone impersonation, getting his own rebound, putting it back in. And Miami trailing 70-66. Our first California Classic game of the evening coming up next. Golden State versus Sacramento. Ooh, hesitation. Okay, Robinson, the hesitation.
That worked out perfectly. That was a nice little change of pace. Got the hesitation, got the big man up. Those are the little pieces you got to try and showcase.
Yurtsevin, bang. That's his third triple, the 7-footer showing the range.
3 triples for a 7-footer, more than anybody else in this game from either team. Just shows you kind of how important he's been. 23 for him for the Heat, and they're looking for him here down the stretch.
Yeah, he signed a non-guaranteed contract with Miami back in May. Didn't play at all last season with the Heat, but man, he's looking like a player out here tonight. Scramble for the ball. Bodies everywhere, good hustle. Oh, but right to the Miami Heat player, DJ Stewart Jr., the hoop and the harm.
And it's about not giving up on the play, and I think that's what the guards for Miami have done a really good job collectively tonight of just whether it's on defense or offense, just sticking with the play. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to go through the rim at the end of it, right, Kyle?
Not pretty, but effective. And that was a big bucket as Stewart Jr. He heads to the line looking to complete the 3-point play, looking to tie this thing up at 72. 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Stewart knocks it down. A little full court pressure there from Javonte Smart. Kaycock, shot clock down to 10. Robinson uses the screen. Nice little alley-oop. Childs with the throwdown.
Great misdirection right there, being able to read. And a lot of times it's just a look off, like you're gonna go in the opposite direction. He looked like he was gonna go to the right wing. Childs came right down the baseline, wide open. That's a good, solid play for the Lakers.
Yurtsevin too strong. Lakers leading by 2, 4:15 left to go here in the fourth. Childs. Sean D. Brown, Childs calling for it down low. They missed him that time. Instead, Robinson, 17-footer, rims out. Garrett using the screen, foul line jumper. Both teams have gone cold from outside. Lakers shooting 39%, Miami 47%. Quentin Crawford calls a timeout. We got a good one here. Lakers on top by 2. Robinson to Childs. Send it down, young fella. Send it down. For a 72 lead. Oh yeah, Golden State Warriors fans are in the building. They made the short drive up I-80 to watch their Warriors take on the Sacramento Kings. That'll be the nightcap. Looking forward to that one. Davion Mitchell, the number 9 overall pick, making his debut. We'll get to see him. Oh, okay. Reeves with the 3.
You know, it's crazy. He's impacted the game in such a big way, but when you look at the stat sheet, that put him to 11 points. It feels like he's had a bigger impact than just 11 points. He's got 5 boards, 2 assists. He's just kind of done a little bit of everything, but he has 3 blocks. 3 blocks, my goodness. Yeah, but right there, knocking down the 3, kind of showing a little bit more to his game.
Austin Reeves signing a 2-way contract with the Lakers. Him and Joel Ayayi. Both guys showing out tonight. Shot clock winding down. Tough. Kaycock the rebound. Lakers holding a 5-point lead, nearing the 3-minute mark here in the 4th. Robinson, looking for Ayayi, who was in the corner, decided to cut to the basket. A little miscommunication.
You know, to a certain degree, this is a product of going a little bit too fast, B, anticipating the play, and also just see you haven't had a lot of time together to kind of know what that player is going to do on the baseline. Are they going to go and cut? Are they going to tend to kind of fade out for that 3? But, you know, right idea, just wrong execution.
It'll be out of bounds. Miami basketball, 9 on the shot clock. Yurtsevin, top of the key, 3. Nice tip in though, DJ Stewart. 77-74, 2:30 left to go. Little pressure there by Garrett. A near turnovers as we take a look at DJ Stewart working the offensive glass.
And you know that Yurtsevin is a guy that's capable of hitting that 3. So the rest of you, as soon as you see that ball go up, you've got to crash the boards, be there. That is an opportunity. That's just a hustle play that ended in 2 points.
Here's Reeves looking for a cutter. Sean D. Brown, they're saying out of bounds. Lakers basketball, 4.6 left to go on the shot clock. Take a look at Malik Allen. Robinson, catch and shoot. In and out. Back comes Miami. A 3 will tie it. Garrett using the screen. Corner 3. Stewart had a look at it, Katie, just too strong.
You know, and that just hasn't been a strong suit all game long for Miami as a whole. 7 of 24 from long range, under 30% as a team. But you know what? You have to take the open shot.
Oh, a battle for the ball. Tracking it down, getting the layup to go. Drew Smith makes it a 1-point game. 1:42 left to go. We're seeing both teams hustling tonight. That's what I like to see.
That's what I love about kind of summer league basketball, because all these guys are out here trying to prove something. They're trying to earn a spot, an invite, whatever it is. They're all playing like it's the most important game of their career, you know?
Yeah, Ayayi with the turnover. We got a foul on Reeves in the backcourt. That'll be his second, 4th team foul for the Lakers. 1:22 here to go. Miami 76, Los Angeles 77. The first game of the California Classic coming up next. Golden State versus Sacramento. Yurtsevin.
He really does that 2-man game really well and plays with his guards, his wings, extremely well off that little dive into the lane. And he doesn't need a lot of space to operate. They're setting it a lot of time around the free throw line.
Miami back on top by 1. Thanks to a 6-0 run. The Heat bench standing up. Under a minute to play. Miami taking their time. Here's Garrett. Looking for the screen, instead gives it up. In the paint, turnaround. DJ Stewart is no good. The Lakers, they'll get a timeout. 18 on the shot clock, 31 on the game clock. The California Classic is underway, and we got a good one. The final 31.2 is next. Left in this contest between the Lakers and the Miami Heat. How about this two-man game, Katie, we've seen from Smart and Yurtseven to give Miami the lead?
This has really been the bread and butter. Yurtseven does such a good job of finding his space in the lane, works really well with whether it's Smart, Stewart Jr., Garrett even. They're looking for him. He's got 25 points, 19 rebounds so far in the game, but I think that's kind of something that down the stretch has stagnated their offense a little bit. When the play that they're running for him works out well and they execute it, they're getting something out of it. But if it breaks down, they're a little bit lost and they're settling for pull-ups. So let's see what they're able to do here the last 31 seconds of this game, if they can get some flow offensively and hopefully a stop here.
All right, the Lakers inbound the ball. Robinson left open for the three. Too strong. Reeves with the rebound, second chance opportunity. Miami wanted to travel. Kaycock to the basket. And Miami can't believe it. Head coach McLeek Allen over there saying, come on, man, one more look. Kaycock.
And the important thing here, you're down one. What do you need to do? You need to make sure you go strong to the glass and make sure that you're forcing the official to make the call. But of course, we're going to see a challenge here because this game matters. It's 78-70. There's 17 seconds left. This is a challengeable play.
We got challenges in Summer League. Next thing you're going to tell me is overtime, too.
Yep.
Is there?
I don't even want to talk about it right now, Kyle.
I don't want to jinx it. You're right. No, but they're going to take a look at this. Malik Allen deciding to call for the challenge. They whistled the foul on Yurtseven.
Well, that would be his sixth foul. So obviously, you know, he's been in foul trouble all game.
Yeah, you foul out with 10 fouls in Summer League.
Summer League.
I say let him play, right?
Man, I would have thrived in Summer League. I would have been out there you know, it's almost not fair. It's almost not fair. Now I'm wishing that the WNBA had some kind of Summer League because that's where I would have made my bread and butter. 10 fouls?
10 fouls.
Oh, that just isn't right. But thanks for them. It's a good case scenario.
Yeah. Hey, use them all, right?
You know what, though? Like, I don't understand that rule necessarily because what benefit is that teaching a player how to learn to stay out of foul trouble? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Like, if you're Yurtseven, you're not changing your game at all when you pick up 3 quick fouls. You know, because you know you have 7
well,
left.
That explains it. That's why they left him out there in the first quarter with 3 fouls, or 2 fouls, picked up his third.
I think they called the foul on the body, I think. On Kaycock going to the hoop. Foul was called on Yurtseven, his 6th. As you see Brandon Adair and Andy Nagy at the scorer's table trying to figure this out. Let's take one more look at this. See, but they called it on Yurtseven. I didn't see the contact.
Yeah, especially from that angle, it's difficult to see it. Unless it's with the right leg that was going up. If he made contact with the leg, the knee.
I wonder if this upcoming NBA season, they'll keep the microphone there with the official, where the official announces the call.
I really liked it.
I really like that. Challenge unsuccessful. Brandon Adair making the call. Yurtseven trying to explain his case, argue his case. So Kaycock will head to the line for 2, a chance to tie it up and take the lead here with under 18 to play. Fans still trickling in. You got Lakers fans. Heard some Heat fans in the building as well. A lot of Warriors and Kings fans, as expected.
Excited for that game coming up in an hour, yeah.
That should be a good one. Davion Mitchell making his Kings debut. K-Cobb.
Free throws have been just the downfall for the Lakers. I mean, they've gotten to the line 23, 24 times, but shooting under 60% as a team, that's very difficult, especially in a tight game like this. You know, that's where the free throws come back to get you.
Got some Heat fans in the building. Lakers fans cheering the free throw. We're tied at 78. Here come the Miami Heat. Smart brings it across the timeline, guarded by Robinson. Who do they go to? Yurtseven. They're trying to give the foul down low.
That was way too easy. That was, I mean, they got so lucky that Yurtseven kind of bobbled that pass right there.
Yeah, look at that.
Because that was
there.
way, he had him on his back, way too easy. They didn't see it. That is 100% the person you know on that scouting report they're going to look for in this situation. Send somebody else that way. He had the baseline had he caught that clean.
That looked like a 5-on-none practice there, you know?
Like you're going 5-on-0,
yeah.
5-on-0.
Yep, Yurtseven makes it a 1-point game, 26 points, 19 rebounds for the 7-footer out of Georgetown. Takes both.
That's big. He was 0 of 2 prior to that. Steps up when the game's on the line, knocks them both down.
Reeves, the hard push, the 3. Back iron, rebound, Miami, and that'll do it. The Heat open up California Classic play with an 80-78 win. Yurtseven stealing the show with 27 and 19. How about this look from Reeves here, Katie? A chance to win it. Had a good look at a 3. Instead, could not get it to go as the Miami Heat win. Take a look.
Reeves has been really fantastic this whole game. That's a deep 3, and to be able to do that with pressure, kind of handling the ball between your legs, that is a high-level difficulty shot right there. Couldn't get it to go. The Lakers really played a tremendous game. When they look back at this one, they did everything right. They forced turnovers. They played hard defense. Offensively, they were aggressive, got out in the open court. It's the free throws that hurt them, and that's what they'll be talking about in the locker room.
So Miami opens up the California Classic with a 2-point win over the Los Angeles Lakers. They held the Lakers to just 1 point over the final 338. The Heat getting it done defensively. Coming up next, the Miami Heat, they get the win in about an hour. It's the Kings and the Warriors. We'll get to see Davion Mitchell make his Kings debut. For Katie, I'm Kyle. We'll see you in about an hour.